The complete thing.
मेरा नेटवर्क बैंडविड्थ लो देखो क्या गुड मॉर्निंग सर अरे गुड इवनिंग
Good afternoon, Beta.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Beta. Good evening. Due to some issue, I won't be able to switch on my camera today. Yes, let's wait for the other students to join. And after that, we'll begin with the lecture.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Beta. Good evening.
So I want to say that you are on mute right now.
Okay, so let's begin with the lecture. I am putting my screen on sharing mode. Fine. I hope my screen is visible to every one of you.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
So
please tell the marks of the test.
I will do it in the next class, dear. Okay, I will surely, tell you guys the marks in the next class. So, today we are going to develop a mobile app in which, we'll be using, where is that? Yeah, start web request. This is the block which we will be using. Okay, and today what we are going to do, we are going to make use of an external website, and besides learning how can we connect an external website to our app, to our mobile app, which we have on code.org, we will be also learning how can we fetch the data from that external website by connecting our mobile app to the server of that website. Fine. Now, before
Sir,
starting,
we can.
so this is the first screen. Okay. So I'm going to define a code for this login button first. Fine. So I would like, what is the idea of this button? It is login, right? So I am making it the default screen first. So when the user will run this app, this is a screen he's going to see first. Fine. And now the ID of this button is login. So we need to replace this ID, which is getting reflected over here with login. Let me just check whether there is anyone waiting in the waiting room. Yeah, there is no one. Okay. So when the user will hit this login button, see, there are two screens. Let me just show it to you first. This is the first screen and this is the second screen. So I would like the user to get redirected on this screen 6. Okay, this is the screen which we are going to use as a user screen. So there is an image button which I have placed over here. On this image button, there is a GIF image which you are seeing right now. So I have got this GIF image from Google Images. What you have to type in order to get this GIF image, you can just type, girl with facts or fun facts. This is a keyword which you can type here on Google Images in order to get this kind of image. Let me just show it to you. So here what you have to do, just write down girl with facts. When you'll come on this images, okay, that image is not visible to us. Let's add one more keyword to this, cartoon. Okay, so images like this will be visible to you. So you guys can make use of this image also if you guys want. Fine. From here only I have got this image which you are seeing right now on this app. Now I have got this image from the Google Images. Fine. This is the image button. This is the text input box which you can get it from here from the design toolbox. These are two image buttons which I am going to make use of for fetching and for sending the data. And this is the text area. Okay. Now once the user is done with login into the app, I would like him to redirect. I would like him to get redirected on this screen 6. Now, what are the login credentials he should enter here in order to access this screen 6? For that, I would like to define a code over here. So let's make use of this if loop. So if get text. Now the idea of this component is email. If the email is equal to, let's say users. Okay, user and because we have got two conditions to check. So that is the reason I am making use of an logical operator. Now let's copy this whole code and put it after this and operator. What is the idea of the second component? It is password. So if the password is also equal to user, so I would like to get the user redirected on this screen 6. So that's how I can do it, right? Is there any error in this code? Why these red color boxes are getting reflected? I think I need to put a bracket over here. Yeah, now it is fine. So if the user will enter user and user in these two fields, he is going to get redirected on screen 6. And if suppose he is an admin person, so he need to enter admin and admin in both these fields. And when he will hit this login button, he should get redirected on this screen 8, not on screen 8. Where is that screen? Yeah, screen 4. Fine. So this is again, an image which you are seeing over here. Fine. Now here, what I have done. See, this is an image. This is an image, and on this image, I have placed two label boxes. One is this with name label 7, and the second label box is this with name get text, which I have placed right on the body of this person which is getting reflected on this image. Okay. And the idea of this label box is get fact. These are two image buttons which are getting reflected over here, and this is the text area. Okay. Now the code is very simple. If the user will enter user and user in these two fields, he is going to get redirected on this screen 6. And if he will enter admin in these two fields, he is going to get redirected on screen 4. Okay. Now let's come
Just
on
like the
this.
previous app.
Now let's come on this screen 6 first. So this is the user screen. Now here I would like the user to enter a number over here. Okay, the fun fact, the fact related to whatever number he want to find out, he need to enter that number over here. And when he will hit this image 8 button, then that number which he has entered should get saved in a table. From that table, I will fetch that number here in this label box. So that's what we are going to do first. So I am going to come on this screen 6. Now, what is the ID of this button? It is image 8. The ID of this button is image 8. So I'm going to define an uneven block for this image 8. When the user will hit this image 8, I would like a table to get created on the data browser, where I can save the number which the user has entered. So let the name of the table be number. Okay, let the name of the table be number. Now I would like to define a column inside this number table with name number. Okay, the name of the column is also, let's make it numbers. Okay, so the name of the table is number and the name of the column which will be there inside this table is numbers. Now from where I will get that number? I will get that number. See, because I'm trying to get a number from this component, so that is the reason instead of making use of get text, now we will make use of get number property, right? So we will get the number from this component, the name of which is number again, and n is in capital. Fine. So whatever number the user will enter here, now when he will hit this image 8 button, a table with name number will get created in which that number will get saved. Okay. Now in order to fetch that number on this screen, not on screen 8, it is screen 4. Yeah. So in order to get that number, how the admin is going to get that number? So there is an image 12 button, which you can see over here. So what I am going to do, I'm going to define an uneven block for this image 12 button, which I will use for fetching the number entered by the user. So now ID of this button is image 12. So here I'm going to write image 12. Now when the user will click this image 12 button, Atharv Sharma. Okay, so when the user will hit this image 12 button, because I am trying to pull the number which the user has entered, so that is the reason. Let's make use of a read records block. We need to put it inside this uneven block like this. Soumya Behel, why they are entering so late? Now the name of the table from which we are trying to read the number is number and n is in capital. Okay, and let's get rid of this console.log code. Okay, and now let's make use of the set text block in order to set the text. Do we need to make use of set text block, or is there any block with name set number also available over here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can make use of the set number block, right? Because we are trying to fetch a number from the table. So we guys can put it over here. Okay, now what is the ID of the table? What is the ID of this component? It is label 7. So we need to put here label 7. And from where are we trying to pull the number? It is, the name of the column is numbers, where the number is going to get stored. Fine. So that's how we'll be able to pull the number here now on this admin panel. Fine. Now, how can we find out, how can this admin person find out the fun fact related to this number? Okay. So for that, what I will do, I would first like to define an uneven block for the label box which I have placed over here on this person, which is getting reflected on this image. So I am putting this label uneven block over here, and the ID of this label box is get fit. Get fit here. So now I would like to show you something. You know, there is a site with URL address this. It is http colon underscore slash slash and then numbers API. Okay, and then it is .com, and when you will hit this enter button, so this is the site numbersapi.com. So let's see what is the, see, this is the kind of site this is the first page of the site. Okay, now from here you can get all the information related to all the numbers. Okay, and how can you get that? See, what you guys have to do, if you will write down here 4 just after this URL part numbersapi.com, if you will write down 4 after this slash, let's see what is going to happen when we'll hit this enter button. See, 4 is the number of chambers the mammalian heart consists of. So this is the fact related to this number 4. Likewise, if you want to get if you want to see the fact related to this number 8, so just replace 4 with 8 and see, that's how you can fetch the fact related to this number 8. 8 is the number of furlongs in a mile. Are you all able to see this fun fact reflecting over here? Okay, and
Yes, sir.
similarly, if you want to fetch it for say, let's say 89. So see, now the fun fact related to 89 is the number of units of each color in the board game blocks. Okay, so that's how you can fetch the related facts, facts related to a number with the help of this URL, with the help of this website. Now, every website has a server on which all the information of that website is present. So if you are trying to access, yes, dear. Yes, Malay.
Sir, what have you written to get that image?
I think I have already, I
One
have
cartoon stand
this one. You just have to
Yes,
write down,
sir.
you just have to write down fun facts.
with the
You just have to write down fun facts, fun facts clip art or fun facts cartoon images. Okay, so these are the kind of images you're going to come across on the Google Images part. Okay, now see, if you're trying to connect an external, now listen to this part very attentively. If you're trying to connect an external website to your app which you have built on code.org, so in order to do that, what you need to do, you need to connect the server of this website, of that external website, to the data browser of your code.org's app. Fine. Now, how can you find out whether the connection is good or not? So there is a thing called status. So if status is equal to 200, so this is a condition that you need to check. What does this mean, status equal to 200? Whether it is in ready state or not. So if the status of the server of this external website is equal to 200, then what does this mean? It means that you can fetch the data from this website and you can connect it to your code.org's app. Otherwise, it won't be possible for you to access this website on the same app. Okay, now let me just show it to you practically. How can you connect this website with your code.org app? See, the only thing which we are changing is this number after this slash, right? If you want to find out the fun fact related to, suppose, 9,000. So what you have to do, you just have to replace this number. Okay, so this is same for all the numbers. This part is same, only the numbers are getting replaced. So now let's code for this thing. How can we fetch the fun fact related to the number which the admin is going to see here? Okay, so for that, let's come here in this on event block of this label box. And here, the first thing that I would like to do is I would like to fetch the number first. Okay, let's make use of this variable number. So I'm going to make use of this variable number. Okay, and that's how I can fetch the number and store it in this variable number, get number, using this get number facility. Okay, now what is the ID of this number label? It is label 7. So we need to put here label 7. So whatever number is going to come here, it is going to get saved in this number now. Okay, and then let's define another variable with name URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Every web page which is traveling on internet has got a unique address, has got a unique name, and that unique name is known as Uniform Resource Locator. Now see, what is the ID of this page? The URL of this page, which is showing us the fun fact related to this number 9,000 is this
Numbers API.
numbersapi.com slash
Numbersapi.com.
9,000 slash 9,000, right? And similarly, if you want to find out the fun fact related to this 89 number, now what do you have to do? You just have to replace the number with 89 and see. So the only thing which is changing in this ID in the URL part is this number part, right? So what I am going to do, I'm going to copy this thing. Okay, numbersapi.com, and I'm going to put it over here in between these two double inverted commas, because this part is fixed. Okay, after this slash, the part which is changing is the number part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make use of a concatenation operator. Let's make use of a concatenation operator and concatenate this number which we have stored in this number variable over here. Like this, we can concatenate the two parts, the URL part and the number part. So whatever number the user, the admin is going to see here, now that number is going to come here. Fine. Now this is the variable in which we have stored the whole URL of the page, which is going to give us the fun fact related to the number, which is going to get reflected over here on this admin panel. Right. Now let's do one thing. Inside this on event block, let's make use of this start web request block. Okay, because we would like to now connect this app of ours with this website. So that's the reason we need start web request. Okay, and what I am going to do, see, this is the URL which you are seeing right now over here, but we don't want to fetch the information from this URL. We want to fetch the information from this URL. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this whole part. Let's delete this whole part. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, we are going to delete it till here. Till this point, we are going to delete everything. And in place of that URL, what we are going to write down? URL. Okay, where we are actually storing the URL of the page from where we would like to fetch the fun fact related to the number. All right, now let's do one thing. Let's come inside this start web request URL, and here I'm going to define an if loop, because as I told you, we need to check the status also, whether it is equal to 200 or not. So that's how we can do it. State whether status is equal to 200. Okay, and if this condition is true, if this condition is true, then we would like to set the text of this what we call it, text area, equal to what? We would like to set the text of, what is the idea of this component? It is fun fact, right? Fun fact. And because I am setting the id, I would like to set the id to the text which I will fetch from this page. So that's the where will the content get stored? Can anyone tell me? See, there are three variables. One is this, second is this, third one is this. Now you guys have to tell me in which variable, from which variable can we fetch the content? Absolutely
Sir,
right. It is
content
content.
variable.
Absolutely right, Raghav. See, from with status, we can check the status of the site, whether the site is accessible or not. From this content, we can check the, we can fetch the content, right? So now let's run this app and check out whether we'll be able to, get the fun fact reflected over here or not. So I'm going to run this app on two different browsers. Okay, so this is the first device and you can assume it a second device. Fine, here I am going to access the admins panel. So how can we access the admin panel? By writing admin in the email part and admin in the user, in the password field. We can fetch the admin panel, right? See, and here we need to write down user, and here also we need to write down user for fetching the users panel for. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to enter a number over here, right? Let's enter 56. Now let's hit this button over here. Okay, so let's see whether a table has got created on this data browser or not. Yes, a table with name number has got created. Now inside this table, the number which we entered using that users panel is getting reflected over here. Now, how can we fetch that number on this admin panel? We need to hit this button, right? In order to get that number reflected here in place of this NO dot. So the number is getting reflected over here. Now, in order to get the fun fact related to this number, we can click this label box we have placed over here on this image. Is this fun fact getting reflected over here or not? Is it visible to every one of
Yes,
you?
sir.
So
Yes,
see,
sir.
Yes, visible.
56
Yes,
is the
sir.
maximum speed of analog data transmission over a POTS in the 20th century, measured in kilobyte per second. So this is the fun fact related to this number. Now the second part is, how can we get it reflected on this user's screen? So for that, what we can do, we can again define an uneven block. We can again define an uneven block like this over here. For this button, what is the idea of this button? It is image 11. Okay, so when the user will hit this image 11 button, whatever the fun fact that will get reflected over here, I would like to store it in a particular table. So let's create a table for doing the same, and here it is. Fine. Now the name of the table is, let's say, fact, and inside this fact, I would like to store two things. One is the numbers, and the second is the fact related to that number. So where can I get the number from? I can get it from,
Label 7.
absolutely correct. It is label 7. Okay, from where we can get the number. And similarly, if you want to if you want to save the fact related to this number,
Fun
you can,
fact.
absolutely right. It is fun fact, and everything in small, fun fact. So now the number is going to get stored in this table like this, and fact related to that number will get stored in this column named fact. Fine. Now, how can we pull the information on this users panel? Where is that users panel? Yeah, this is the one. So there is a button which you can see over here. The name of this button is get. So I would like to define an on event block for this get button. ID of this button is get. Yeah. So when the user will hit this get button, let's make use of this read record block in order to read the records from the table named fact. Okay, and now what are we doing here? We are trying to set the text, right?
Text.
Of what is the ID of this component? It is get fun fact. Get fun fact. See, I would like to, get the fun fact of the number which is getting reflected over here. Now, how can I put a check for that condition? Where can I put a check for that condition?
So in curly brackets of read
Absolutely
record.
right.
Upper of
Absolutely
for
right.
loop.
So what we can do, we can write down numbers over here. Okay, and here we can do it like number. The number should be equal to what? It should be equal to get number. Get number, and what is the ID of this component? It is number. That's how we can put a check over here. Get fun fact, and the ID of this component, sorry, not the ID of this component. What is the name of the column where the facts are getting saved? The name of the column is, what is the name of the column?
It's a number.
Fact is the name of the column, dear. Fact is the name of the column where the facts are getting saved, right? Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's run this app one more time and see whether it is working fine or not. And after that, I'm going to share the link of this beautiful app with you guys on your respective WhatsApp numbers.
Sir, can you also send it in the chat?
I can send it in the chat also, no problem. So I'm going to enter here user. Here I am entering user again. And here I'm going to enter main, and here also I'm going to enter main. Let's, okay, it should be admin, right? Sorry, it should be admin, absolutely right. Okay, now let's enter a number over here. Let's say 567. Sending the number. For receiving the number, we can hit this button over here. So the number is getting reflected over here. Now let's hit this label box in order to find out the fun fact related to this number. So see, 567 is a boring number. That's what is getting reflected over here. Okay, in order to send it to this user, we need to hit this button first. Okay, and let's now see whether this person will be able to receive the number or not. So for, fun fact related to this number or not. So we need to hit this get the fact button. So we are able to see this number over here, right? Now let's do one thing. Let's run this app on one more browser. Okay, and I'm going to access the users panel on this browser now. I just want to see whether if suppose 2 or more users are working simultaneously on this app, whether it is going to give them the right result or not. So user and user login, here I'm entering, let's say 34. Okay, and let's set this button and send this number to this admin person. Now let's see whether he'll be able to fetch the number or not on his panel. Yes, the number is getting reflected over here. Let's get the fun fact related to this number. So yes, the fun fact is also getting reflected. 34 is a lucky number of Victor Palvin's protagonist is Stephen Mikhailov in the novel Numbers. Let's now send this to this user. How can we do that? We need to hit this button. Let's see whether this user will be able to fetch the fun fact related to that number or not. So we need to hit this get the fact. See, the number, the fun fact related to this number is visible over here. Now you guys have to tell me one thing. If I will enter 34 here, will it be possible for me to get the fun fact related to the
Yes,
number?
sir.
Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Possible.
Chalo, let's check it out. See? So that's how you can make it more innovative. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this lecture a lot. Let me just share with you
So we can
guys.
also make buttons for